Essentially, what I want to emphasize is how important marketing and promotions are when it comes to a song. That a song can be, there are a lot of great songs out there that are not getting the attention because they're not getting the right marketing and promotions. So for example, Gangnam Style was actually pushed by Scooter Braun. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is a true viral hit and whatever. Okay, but a viral hit that was pushed by Scooter Braun, and he pushed it heavily. So this is him talking about how he found Gangnam Style. Okay, sorry, let's do it one more time.
Of a slightly overweight Korean man dancing and said,
Okay, did you catch that part? So this was him talking about Gangnam Style, him finding Gangnam Style. Outside of that,
you know,
um, he mentioned Scooter Braun mentioned that initially Psy thought that Scooter Braun actually wanted to make an English version of the song, and so he was saying
what
no.
I wanted to do. And he's saying, you want to make it in English? And I said, no, I want to keep it in Korean. And he says, what?
So initially that's what Psy thought, that he was going to make an English version. He said no, I want to keep it in Korean.
What I wanted to do. And he said,
So the other thing is that, so other things that he mentioned in the interview is that Psy actually offered to give him the song for free. So Psy was giving him the song for free. Scooter Braun was actually going to own 100% of the song. He said, Psy said in this interview, Psy said, if you make it a hit, I'm going to give you the song for free. And then Scooter Braun said, no, I can't do that. Let me give you some money and a small portion of the rights. So this huge hit is actually making Scooter Braun really, really rich to this day. Scooter Braun is also in the same interview. He also said that he's responsible for other hits like Call Me Maybe and stuff like that. So he knew how to get things on top, essentially. Like if he finds the right song or the right singer, he will get it on top, no problem. And this is also how he ended up working with other artists. Like for a time, he was actually managing um, CL, the leader of 21. So that's how he met her, through Psy. Okay. So the moral lesson is that as much of a viral hit everybody thinks it is, it still was pushed by somebody in the US, by Scooter Braun. Next song is Nobody But You. I don't know if you know this song. So they benefited from opening the concert of uh, Jonas Brothers. So they were at the top. So the Jonas Brothers were at the top of their popularity when they started opening for them, and that's how the song was actually became known among the Western market, because they were touring in the US and Europe, and Wonder Girls was actually opening for them. And so they created an English version of Nobody But You, and that's what they performed in their opening act. And that's how it spread. And they got to number 76 for a week in Billboard Hot 100. So, will you consider that a viral song? They do not have a US promoter, a US distributor, but they benefited from promoting or touring with Jonas Brothers. Now comes Apathy, which is a song by by Rose and of course Bruno Mars. Now, Bruno Mars is a legend in the music industry globally. As you can see, he has 9 number 1 hits. He's had 34 songs inside Billboard Hot 100, and he's top 10 hits, 20 songs. So one song, Uptown Funk, it stayed inside Billboard Hot 100 for 56 weeks. That's what I like. Stayed inside Billboard Hot 100 for 52 weeks, Just the Way You Are, 48 weeks. He has 41 weeks with 24K Magic, Leave the Door Open, 39 weeks, Grenade, 36 weeks. He does not have to prove himself, and this is proof eternal that the guy knows how to make a hit. Okay, anything that he touches becomes gold, turns into gold. And now his latest hit, Die with a Smile, so strategically made. I don't know. You have to appreciate how that song is so strategic in the topic and has now been inside Billboard Hot 100 for like 22 weeks. I don't know, but it's been there for a long time. But you do have to appreciate the subject matter of Die with a Smile. This is a song applicable to anybody who's lost anybody in their lives. And that is like 100% of people on earth. So this was strategic. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but this was more strategic. They needed a hit for the return of Bruno Mars, who has been absent in the chart for like 3 years now. They needed a hit, and they found the subject matter to do to for that hit. Okay, so of course, Apathy is also benefiting from Bruno Mars's return and Bruno Mars's reputation, and of course from Atlantic Records. Atlantic is heavily pushing the song. Is it a great song? It is. It's definitely a great song. It's a total bop. But a lot of great songs don't become popular just because they don't get the right promotions. This song is a good song and it also got the right promotions. Now, the song is the question is, what do we then consider to be a viral hit? Is anything promoted by a big label not a viral hit? Is that the rule? Because if that is the rule, then we can rule out the virality of Gangnam Style and of Psy because both were promoted by big machines in the US. If an independent artist uses the same strategy as a big label, is it viral? Because it's not a big label, but they're using the same strategy. Ads, playlisting, it's just that it's an independent artist. The other question of all these marketing channels, which are actually tampering with the chart? Because as we know, um, people like talking about, oh, I know it's a hit because when I went to this restaurant, I heard the song was playing. Like that is anecdotal. It doesn't mean that it's actually popular. It could be that the owner of that restaurant that you went to is a big fan of the artist. So um, I feel that ads should not be counted. Okay, I jumped. So I feel that in this question, which marketing channel tampers with the chart? I feel that any kind of marketing channel, be it YouTube ads or playlisting, if it is paid, it should not be counted as a stream or a view on the chart. I think it is but fair because first and so you know that in Spotify they do have a program where a singer or the artist can actually give up their share. In return, they will get pushed more, so they will be advertised. So obviously the objective of that is to introduce the song to more people, not necessarily because they want streams. So I feel it should just be fair that if your objective is to introduce it to people, then so be it. All right, you can pay for your songs to get a lot of streams so that it gets introduced to more people, but it shouldn't be counted in the charts. So there are also independent companies which you can pay for your songs to be included in their playlisting. So in Spotify or Apple Music, there are people that create, we all do it, right? We all create playlists and then we give it to people to listen to. The biggest playlisters can actually accept money to include a song in their playlist. And companies like this will actually facilitate that. So we'll give the song, we'll give, but they don't guarantee success. They will only guarantee that they will give this song to like how many people, and and then you'll get a chance to actually get included in their playlisting. I feel that all of these playlisters, there should be a clear notification that it is there because it is paid, and any stream from that should not be counted inside the chart. Pink Crystal said Apathy served its time. I was into it before, but I've moved on from it already. I've had too much of it. I also feel that Spotify should really weigh less in the chart. I feel that because it has been rigged so many times. It's so easy to rig. And then the other thing is that they have really maximized all of this charting, disclosing the stream numbers to attract people to their platform. And also, as a marketing channel because they make the number of streams visible, then people are using it to prove that one song is more popular than the others. So I feel that all of these marketing techniques is just muddling the water. So if you want to continue with all of your marketing tricks, then you should weigh less in the chart and pay more attention to more organic charts like Apple Music and Amazon Music. That's just my thing. It's like, for me, I love Apathy, and Rose is my favorite Blackpink member, and she still is. And I'm not taking away from her artistry. I feel though that in her album, Apathy is not the best song, but it is getting the most attention because it's getting the right promotion. She was supported by a great artist, and I'm not taking that away from her. If I were in her position and I was offered a chance to do a collaboration with Bruno Mars, hell yeah, I'll do it too. Who will say no to that opportunity? So that shouldn't be taken against her. She was given, the only thing that she did is she played the cards she was dealt with. She was given a chance. Okay, there is a story that she actually chased a friendship with Bruno Mars. I don't see anything wrong with that. She wanted to be friends with somebody. The guy is obviously so fond of her that he agreed to do a song with her. So leave her alone. She played the cards that she was dealt with. That's the only thing that she did. However, I feel she has better songs in her album. Now, let's not take it against her that she's getting streams, she's getting radio plays. But I also feel that, to be fair, all of this push, all of this marketing, I think if the play is accounted to a specific ad, it should not be counted. If there is playlisting, paid playlisting, that it should not be counted. Also, I think Spotify should be questioned with how inconsistent top the TTH um, on the actual chart. Like, there are songs that are number one in Billboard or in the top 10, but it's like not even in TTH playlist, and that is their biggest playlist. So all of those things, I think it adds up to the fact that to the fact that Spotify is not the most credible source of the trend musically.